beautiful weather weekend continues in Atlanta, where Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. A thrilling come-from-behind victory for the Braves in Game 1 against the Marlins. They look to win the series outright as we welcome Michael Harris II to Braves country. The young man will make his Major League debut, the pride of Stockbridge High School. And yes, his name's Michael. He's got to wear number 23. Hi again, friends. Chip Carey, Jeff Francoeur. Welcome back to the broadcast for the very special day of Braves baseball. Anytime a kid makes his big league debut, one as highly thought of as Michael Harris, it's a special day. Can't wait to see this kid strap it on for real.
You know what? You only get to do it once. Everybody tells you. So remember everything about this day. Waking up, breakfast, coming to the park, and walking in that big league locker room for the first time. You can do it all you want in spring training, but it's not like that when you get here and actually see and know you're going to be in the lineup tonight. And look, I think this is great for two reasons. One, I think, you know what, he's been hitting great right now. Give him an opportunity to come up. But B, it gives this outfield a chance for everybody to move kind of where they're supposed to be. All of a sudden, Adam Duvall goes from, you know, a decent center field to the best left fielder in the game. And so let this kid play center field. You got Ronald and right. You got a great outfield defense. And then you believe he's good enough to hit along the way. I'm excited to see him and hopefully another guy that can kind of jumpstart this team and get him going.
And oh, by the way, all he has to do is face Sandy Alcantara, one of the game's best starters, in his Major League debut, as the Braves will send Tucker Davidson to the mound. He's looking for a redeemer. Paul Bird joins us for the broadcast. Bernie will give us our scouting report on Tucker as the Braves and Fighting Fish meet in Game 2 of 3 here in Atlanta. Military Appreciation Day here at Truist Park. Flyover, Star-Spangled Banner. All the branches of the military honored on the infield as we get you set for Game 2 between the Braves and the visiting Miami Marlins. Here's your pitching matchup for the middle game of the series. We owe a little payback to Sandy Alcantara, who threw a complete game against us down in Miami the last time we saw the Marlins. And Paul Bird, Tucker Davidson's looking for a redeemer. He's 1-1 this year. Rough time out last time. What do you look for Tucker to do today in the second of 3?
Absolutely, Chip. First of all, I love the noise down here. Tucker out on that hill has to breathe, calm down, throw strikes. We know that. What you may not know is that in the minor leagues, he threw a lot more changeups. He threw a lot more curveballs. They're looking for more of that today as long as he can settle in with those pitches. They feel like he's thrown a lot of fastballs, a lot of slider. Everything's hard, and he's been easy to pick up. Let's not forget, how about a couple fly balls to center field today? Guys.
Sounds like a plan. Michael Harris II making his Major League debut. Tucker Davidson looking to win the series outright for the Braves, who gun for win number 23 on a perfect afternoon for baseball. We'll get to lineups first pitch from Truist Park after one more break.
Local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
It is a Chamber of Commerce day, and a day that young man Jeff Francoeur will never forget. Michael Harris about to make his big league debut, called up from AA Mississippi yesterday. In the lineup, hitting ninth for the first time as a member of the Atlanta Braves. I love what you said in the open a minute ago. You only get to do this once. What's he thinking about right now?
A lot of things as he's running out to that outfield spot. When he turns around in a minute and it hits him, he's going to look up and see 40,000 fans and just think about the journey for a second, and then he'll get on to baseball. But, you know, you got all your family and friends here. It's going to be a special day.
So the kid out of Stockbridge High School playing center field, hitting ninth for the Braves behind Tucker Davidson. Atlanta with a big comeback win last night, a 6-4 final. They will battle the Fighting Fish, the Marlins from Miami, and their skipper Don Mattingly. A late change to his lineup yet again. Brian Anderson could not go. Back stiffness sidelined him. So John Birdie will lead off their Toyota starting 9. Cooper, Soler, Jesus Aguilar, the DH. We'll get our first look at Willens Astudillo. He's going to play second base. More on that in a minute, but important start, Jeff, today for Tucker Davidson.
Yeah, he had two starts so far, completely different. First one in Milwaukee, I thought he was on the attack. He was pounding the strike zone. He was all right there. And then last week, 7-3-2 count. So for him, it's easy. You got to tunnel, you got to throw strikes and let your off speed go to work after you get ahead.
So with that in mind, Jeff, as the Braves try to win this series and get to within one game of 500, what are today's 4 keys?
For him, throw strikes. You got one of the best defenses in baseball sitting right behind you. Let him make plays. And again, for Michael Harris, enjoy this, man. You only get your first game one time in the big leagues, and to do it here in front of 40,000 people at home, special moment.
And it is a giant crowd for Atlanta today. The Braves will officially go over 1 million in attendance this afternoon. It's May the 28th.
It's incredible.
So a perfect day for a ball game, a perfect day for an Atlanta win. Let's see what Tucker Davidson has in store for us as John Birdie strides to the batter's box. Birdie missed 16 games, came back last night. Again, the Marlins injury plague. No Avisail Garcia. The COVID list got him. Jazz Chisholm still with a sore knee, and as we mentioned, Brian Anderson a bad back. That's a third of their starting lineup. Let's see if that helps Tucker Davidson today, and he's underway with a quick strike. Beautiful warm day, 80 degrees, low humidity.
I was going to say, it's perfect.
And just a gentle breeze blowing here at Truist Park. As Davidson faces Birdie's second offering is cut on and missed. And John now 0-2 the count. Love what Paul said on the attack. Everything was hard. Let's see if Tucker can mix it up a little bit better than he did against the Phillies, who forced him into 76 pitches in 2 2/3 innings. This is Davidson's first career start against the Marlins. The first of what we hope will be many, not just this year, but in years to come. And he's matched up with Sandy Alcantara, the Miami ace. The pitch is launched out of play to the right side, and Birdie is still alive. The 1-2 is taken low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Braves did take batting practice today. There was a lot of outfield practice going on too, with Harris in center. Get him used to the angles, the sight lines, and the like. I say it all the time in a major league game. When a kid comes up from the minor leagues, you wonder about that 3rd or 4th deck.
Yeah.
And there's that change of speed. Birdie had that scouted out. Tucker Davidson strikes out the Marlins leadoff man. 1 man down.
That's a good curveball there, down in the zone. After a couple good fastballs. It's a good sequence there to start the game.
That was kind of Max Fried-like, wasn't it? So Birdie's retired. Here's Garrett Cooper.
I was listening to what Michael had to say when he got called up today. That's one of my favorite things. I always want to see what a kid has to say. You know, you can tell a lot, I think, in those interviews and the way they think. And I thought one of the coolest things was him saying that, you know, do they think it would, they asked him if they thought it would happen sooner, and he just kind of said, no, not really. I just kind of kept knowing if I keep playing that at some point, you know, my time would come. And I love that because, you know, I think in this day and age with all social media and everything, you know, kids feel that whether rumors get started, whatever, that they're, you know, coming up or they got a good chance. And I love what he said. Just keep getting better and better every single day, and I knew my time would come.
And his time is today.
Yep.
On May 28th is Tucker Davidson versus Garrett Cooper. And that's out of play foul. I would think, Jeff, that social media in that regard is a curse, not a blessing.
Oh,
you didn't have to deal with that 17 years ago.
No, and now you got people, you know, putting stuff on there. So that's why I thought it was great to see a young kid like that just take it day by day.
Lifted toward right, curling toward the stands. Adam Duvall is there. He makes the grab, and that's the second out. And I also loved your point about what having Harris play center field does for the rest of the Braves outfield defensively.
Yeah, in a normal day, you're going to have Ronald sitting down there where Duvall just made that catch, and then you will have Duvall in left field. And again, to me, you go from, you know, middle of the road defense. Now when you put Michael in center, boy, those two on the corner become one of the better left and right fielders in baseball.
Here's Jorge Soler, greeted with a nice round of applause last night and again today in his first at bat. And that's bounced off his foot for strike one.
You know, when Christian Pache was up here, that was kind of the hope, Chip, was that would let Acuna play right, but he just didn't hit at all here. You know, I think he's doing better in Oakland, but you know, that's the hope for Michael. Like I said, just hit a little bit. That's all you got to do. Just learn, keep going.
Don't be the guy, just be a guy.
Yep.
At the plate. And Soler takes a strike. Carlos Torres has the plate today, and Tucker Davidson looks like a man reborn, throwing strikes. 12 pitches, 9 of them have found the mark. And his 0-2 up and under the chin of Soler. One thing we know about Davidson and Alcantara, they like to work quickly. They get into a rhythm. When they're right, Davidson part of the generation of youngsters coming up with the pitch clock in the minor leagues. And Soler is trying to slow him down with a 1-2 count. Two balls, 2 strikes. Jesus Aguilar waiting on deck. He hit a homer here last night. Davidson's got the first 2 in order. And looks for a 1-2-3 first. And he'll have to throw another one. The Braves ought to know that Soler is a guy that when he's right doesn't chase a lot of pitches. He was so impressive leading off for Atlanta last year, Jeff. Not your prototypical leadoff guy, and for the Marlins he's hitting third. Man, did he work counts. See a lot of pitches. And here's his 6th. And he swings and misses. Very impressive start for Tucker Davidson. His off-speed stuff looks crisp. A couple of strikeouts. Braves go to work in the bottom of a scoreless first. Sandy Alcantara will pick up the duel with Tucker Davidson here in Atlanta. It's going to be Ronald Acuna Jr.
He gives you the best shot to gap one and tie the game.
The pitch. Smoked to the left. That ball is fair. Ronald Acuna with a pinch hit double. Unbelievable. First pinch hit appearance of the year for Ronald. It was a huge hit last night as the Braves came back from a 4-3 deficit to win 6-4. And he's back in the lineup atop the Toyota starting 9 as the Braves DH as he faces Sandy Alcantara. And his day's underway with a fastball boring in on his hands.
That's appropriate that's how he starts his day. Sandy Alcantara, the big righty. He's so tough. 98, good sink. Throws that slider off it, and then as the game goes on, you'll really see him start to mix that changeup in.
What makes this guy so tough?
Well, there it is right there. He already threw that slider off that sinker. Hey, because of that, those pitches look the exact same. One's 98 coming in, the other's 90 going away. And he's big. He's tall out there.
2 quick strikes on Ronald from the reigning National League Player of the Week, Sandy Alcantara, who fired a complete game against the Braves, the 4th one of those in his career. And as you see, he mixes up his arsenal pretty evenly. He's 4-2 on the year and makes his 10th start. And that's a little low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Marlins have a shift on for Ronald, who's hitting .303, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. And the 2-2 pitch is fouled away. So Bertie, how about that complete game from Alcantara? There haven't been many of them in the big leagues, but sadly Sandy turned the trick against us.
No, you got it, Chip, and here's why it happened. In the 8th inning, Don Mattingly was debating about taking him out when Alcantara walked down to the end of the dugout, looked at him and said, "I'm not coming out of the game." Walked back to the other end of the dugout, end of story, and he finished it off.
That's an old school mentality for a starting pitcher. And after going ahead 0-2, he's run it full to Ronald. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, there's some guys that get to the point where they deserve that opportunity, and Alcantara's the one guy on that team that can do that.
Did he go? Yeah, Ronald's rung up at the plate. Alcantara came all the way back and strikes out the Braves leadoff man to start the 1st inning. 1 man down.
Ronald, one of the best to me, to lay off that outside pitch goes to show you Alcantara with that slider just got him to go.
Dansby Swanson's your batter. He's had a tremendous offensive homestand. 10 hits, a homer, 4 RBIs, and 4 runs. Now Alcantara lets her rip and a fastball. 98 easy gas right down Broadway. Strike one.
Not a bad pitch there. Caught it a little bit off the plate. I think he was set up in.
Dansby has 5 career hits against Alcantara, 2 doubles, and he's got 6 hits against him. A 1-out single into center field. So Swanson 11 for 20 on the homestand, using the big part of the field, Jeff, and his average is a climbing.
Well, and this is what's crazy when you face a guy like this. That's when you want to be hot, because look at that changeup. I mean, that had some serious downward sink. And when you're hot, Chip, you don't care. I don't care who's on that mound, and that's how Dansby feels right now.
So there goes the no-hitter. 2 batters in here in the first inning. Dansby aboard in front of Marcell Ozuna. Marcell was 0 for last night. Nice to get some early offense going against Alcantara, who's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 4 consecutive games for Miami. Big hole right side. A little low, 1 ball, no strikes. Willians Astudillo is the second baseman for Miami. He's a catcher by trade, is he not?
He is. He's not your typical second base.
So the injury-plagued Marlins give Astudillo a shot on the infield. The pitch on the ground toward third. Nice pick. Astudillo will try to turn, and he did. Nice play at second. Ozuna bounces into an around the horn double play, and the Braves are out of luck in the first. No score. Connor Zaxby's indescribably good play. 2 teams in the National League that have pitched extremely well this month.
Yeah, and that's what's incredible. You look at the Braves, they're starting to surge. On the other side, the Marlins have pitched that well, and they're going the other way.
They have trouble scoring runs.
Yes.
It's a big problem for Miami. It's been that way during this rough patch of games for them. They've lost 5 of their last 6, and I believe it's 17 of their last 23. To fall to 18 and 25 on the year.
Now the other thing, the Braves have done a great job. Their bullpen, 1 earned run, 12 Ks in the last 10 1/3.
And the Marlins bullpen faltered last night. The Braves took advantage of that as Aguilar digs in versus Tucker Davidson. And Jesus with a home run here last night, the 99th of his career. Braves are hoping he gets number 100 after Miami leaves town. Tucker looked good in the first inning, a couple of strikeouts. And that one spun out of his hand. 2 balls and a strike. Three and 1. And that missed low and inside. That's the first Miami base runner. It's a walk from Tucker Davidson, and that was a big problem for him in his last game against the Phillies. Not just the walks, Jeff, but deep counts. He had 7 full counts in 2 2/3 innings.
That's one thing you loved about the first inning was, 15 pitches. It was very efficient. 2 strikeouts. Same thing. Go after these guys. Let them put the ball in play.
Rojas back in the lineup last night, playing in back-to-back games today as he takes a strike. Rojas walked and grounded out and flied out last night. Aguilar a very short lead at first, and the pitch is fouled to the left side. It's 0-2. Braves wearing their traditional home whites, the Marlins with their alternate black uniforms. Those will keep you loose on a bright, sunny 80-degree day. My only beef with the Marlins black uniforms, it's tough to see the numbers and the names with the teal lettering and numerals.
I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't be wanting to wear that in about another month here on a Sunday.
Be a little rough. As Davidson readies with an 0-2 pitch. And this one stroked into center. Michael Harris's first chance, handled chest high, no problem. And there is out number 1 in the Miami second.
That's always nice too, to get that first one out of the way, right at you. Only had to move about 3 steps.
There are people who have followed the Braves farmhand a long time down in Mississippi, especially. They say he's ready to play defense in the major leagues right now. There's no question or concern about his glove.
Again, and we'll talk more as the game goes, but the question is, you know, how many bats has he had in the minor leagues? You know, how does that compare? But again, I think it's changed a little bit in the fact there's so much information now to help some of these young hitters as they come up. And like, he was hot, and we needed a center fielder.
That's in for a strike for Joey Wendell. Exchange text messages today with Jack Sadegan, the Mississippi Braves broadcaster, who saw Michael play at AA. And all Jack had to say were great things about Michael, not just as a player, but as a kid.
Nice.
So we're excited about that. We'll look forward to.
You got everybody's number, don't you?
Comes to the territory, Jeff. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Joey Wendell.
All the experience.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Aguilar leads at first with 1 out. For Wendell, the pitch is poked over the netting and under the first deck here at Truist Park. 1-2 the count.
Sir, I got to bring this up real quick. Did you see Jock Peterson with the fantasy football?
Unbelievable.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. We won't get into it. I know, but I just had to say, I listened to that interview and I absolutely cried for 2 minutes.
News came down on that today, by the way, involving Tommy Pham, the Reds outfielder. There'll be 1 play.
Great job.
Davidson a strike to first.
Did you see Contreras? Beautiful job by the catcher right here. Pitcher doesn't know what kind of jump. Aguilar not the fastest, but he was pointing and yelling to him, 1. Get that second out. Don't force yourself to throw one and then make a mess of things. Beautiful job on communication. Watch this. That's how you teach it.
Center fielder's the captain of the outfield. The catcher has to be the captain of the infield. And Contreras did a good job. As Jacob Stallings is the batter. Stallings was hitless last night. Yeah, Tommy Pham today.
3 games.
3 games.
For slapping a player.
Over fantasy football. On the ground on the first pitch. Ozzy's got that. And Tucker Davidson works around a leadoff walk. Braves bats
there's
go back
some cheese involved in that game.
Homers and is riding a 5-game hitting streak. You might remember on Wednesday night, Rhett Roberts tried to catch a Riley home run ball. It deflected up and conked him in the left eye. Austin Riley was kind enough to respond on social media saying, look, we got something for you. And Austin obviously felt so bad that Rhett got a ring.
Yeah, he gave him his ring right off his finger.
But Rhett's here. He got an autograph. I'm sure got to meet Austin before the game.
Good for him.
And let's see if Riley can give a black eye to the Marlins.
So you take one to the face like that, you deserve it.
Chopper on the first pitch, and Astudillo miscommunication. Riley down the line and safe.
That ball hit the edge of the grass and dirt and just went straight down. Watch this. You talk about a hop. He was right there to make this play.
Yeah, it hit the lip. I wonder if Rojas might have impacted that play at second.
I think it just literally hit the lip and stayed down where he thought that ball was going to bounce up.
And as we say it so many times, the ball will find the inexperienced or slumping fielder in this game. It's astounding.
And you get a hit for it.
Yep. 2 of them for the Braves in the game. Here's Matt Olson. And a home run cut. Didn't get that. Strike 1.
Well, you can see how the Braves are attacking Alcantara. They're coming out hacking.
Yeah, you don't want to get to 2 strikes.
No, I love it. You know, whether it's the first or second pitch, good chance you're getting a sinker. Be ready for it.
Well, this would be a perfect spot for Matt to be late and just guide one down the third base line. There's nobody playing over there. And as hard as this man throws, you can be late and be rewarded. Matt was 0 for 3 last night. But he did walk and score one of the 3 7th-inning runs for the Braves. Always had a fun frame offensively for Atlanta. Acuna with the pinch hit double. Ozzie Albies with a base hit. Dansby ran through a stop sign and scored. And the Braves came back from 4-3 to take a 6-4 lead and then slammed the door in game 1. Fun night all around here in Atlanta. 2 balls and a strike.
I think that was our first Chop House win too. I think we were 0-2 in 19. Yeah, I know we lost to the Tigers.
Yeah, that was.
Remember, that was the first one we did.
Yeah, that one didn't go so well.
No.
We had a great time last night interacting with all the fans. Thanks again to our Bally Sports crew. They did a remarkable job of getting the broadcast studio, if you will, set up in right center field. And can't wait to do it again, maybe in September.
Yeah, I think we got to. Why not?
Well, what we really need to do too is we need to convince Braves President Eric Schiller and Mike Plant to give up their seats by the on deck circle for a game.
I don't know. Snip might kick us out if we're that close.
That's true. Jeff, you're disturbing the players.
Exactly.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And back to first is Austin Riley. The 2-2. And Olson didn't get that. Alcantara has his second strikeout. And Ozzie Albies, the hitter, with a man aboard. He is our Synovus Get There feature.
Yeah, see him last 8 home games here at Truist Park. Scored a run in 5 of those 8, and he's reached base safely in 7 of the 8 games here at Truist Park.
So let's add to that 303 average right here against Alcantara. Misses up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. It's been a while since Ozzie's hit a home run. April 23rd to be exact. He is overdue.
That's one of those. He started the year. He hit what, 6 in like the first 2.5 weeks. We've just figured, man. It's usually him. He gets those little hot spurts and he can pop 3 or 4 in 1 week.
Miami has a right side shift for Ozzie, who calls time. And with a guy like Alcantara, he's going to provide the power. You just got to beat him to the spot.
Yeah. Saw Riley do it with Rogers last night.
Smoke down the right field line, but hooking foul.
2-0 slider. Just got out in front of it.
We've said it so often about this Braves team. Sometimes they do their best work against the best opposing pitchers. Ozzie Albies no exception to that. 8 career hits against Sandy Alcantara. 3 of them for extra bases. Another here would be welcome in the 2nd inning. No score. William Contreras, barring a double play, would be the next hitter. The pitch. That's off Stallings' headgear. That'll rattle his fillings. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oh, ricochet off the arm.
That's going to leave a mark.
Well, you can see the left hand shaking the force of that foul ball right on the forearm near the elbow. And then he's got to hang in there and catch these 98-mile-an-hour power sinkers. Not an easy task.
No.
So after a momentary pause, the Marlins right-hander back to work. Riley with a short lead. The pitch. In these 4 o'clock starts. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
I was going to just say 93-mile-per-hour changeup.
Yeah.
Is that not incredible?
Somewhere Tom Glavine just.
Oh my gosh.
Spit out his iced tea. With these 4 o'clock starts, early runs are really important as the shadows begin to creep toward home plate.
Yeah, you're going to have about an hour probably in those middle part innings where it's going to be tough sledding to hit.
So get the lead if you can. The pitch. And Ozzie chased one up and out of the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Alcantara. 2 are away for William Contreras. Williams on a nice run, whether it be as the Braves catcher or the Braves designated hitter. 5 RBIs, 6 runs during his 6-game hit streak. His average at a very respectable 280.
It leads the National League catchers in home runs.
This one to short, and the flip to second is going to retire the side. Alcantara saws off Contreras. No score in Atlanta after 2.
And Money Mikey, Michael Harris in center field with his MLB debut. Now, earlier talking to Eric Young, outfield coach, saying, what do you tell a guy when there's the wall? You got the high wall, you got different areas. It's his first start in the big leagues. He said, just get that paper out. Look at your recs, which means positioning. And that's it. I want you to have fun. I don't want you to think too much. You did something to get here. I want you to show us what you got. Guys, I thought that was great advice.
And he's already handled Birdie, his first chance in the outfield. That was a line drive in the second. He'll hit second when the Braves come up in their half of inning number 3. And another chance for Harris, gliding to his right. Nothing tough about that play for Michael. And on one pitch, Brian De La Cruz is retired to start the Miami 3rd.
Another nice jump for him.
Is it hard, Jeff, to say it's still the same game at this level when you make the jump from the minors to the majors?
Yeah, like I said, it's the same game. It's just a little bit faster, and that's. But I think for him defensively in the outfield, it's a lot of the same game. It's going to be facing the Sandy Alcantaras today, right? You don't see that down in the minor leagues.
On the ground by Astudillo. And Dansby loads up and takes care of Williams. And that's out number 2. Love the efficiency with which Tucker Davidson's working today. And back to the top, John Birdie, who struck out to start the day.
Well, that's something we thought in these 14, well, really 17 straight games in a row that the Braves are in the middle of. It's getting depth from the starting pitchers. You know, giving the bullpen a chance to not have to cover 4 or 5 innings every night.
John Birdie takes a strike. It looked like Ian Anderson was going to take the ball deep last night, Jeff. He was just breezing through 5 innings and then had some 6th inning trouble.
Yeah.
Where 4 runs came across. So hopefully Tucker Davidson can get this thing to the 6th and beyond in game 2. As Birdie takes a little low. 2 balls and a strike. Marlins still without Jazz Chisholm. The Braves last saw Jazz in Miami. He got clipped on the knee on a play at second base and has hasn't played much since. That was a pretty good pitch. Didn't get the call. That's such a dynamic young player for the Marlins. They miss him. They miss Anderson today and Avisail Garcia, who's also on the injured list. The pitch. Wow. 2 close calls in a row. Davidson didn't get him, and he issues a 2-out walk in front of Garrett Cooper. That's never good news. I think Tucker thought he would get one of those.
Yeah, I think
he got neither.
Yeah. You can say this, the umpire's consistent behind there.
So here's Cooper. He popped out down the right field line. Nice play by Adam Duvall in the corner. Good job by the fans to get out of the way and give Adam a chance to make the play up against the fence. And a nice stop. 1 ball, no strikes. Cooper 10 for 20 against the Braves with 8 RBIs. This is already our 3rd series of the season against Miami. Stutter step lead from first, and a laser throw to second, and not in time. Birdie swipes second. That's his 4th stolen base.
Pretty good throw by Travis. Just was able to beat him before Ozzie could slap that tag on his leg.
And a good job by Birdie to keep his left hand on the base in case he overslid. So now you've got a 2-0 count on Cooper in an RBI spot. Marlins left a man at second last inning. And in for a strike. It's 2-1. Braves trying to get over 500 at home, get over 500 within the division, and pull to within 1 game of 500 overall for the year today. And let's see if Davidson can complete the comeback as Cooper fouled that off his lower body.
That was a good. He set him up 2-0 slider on the outside half. And this one he came kind of back foot. Ooh. It's going to leave a mark.
Oof. Let's see if Davidson goes back in there after that foul ball off the leg. He tried to and missed. Full count with Jorge Soler waiting on deck. Riley handles a line drive at the line, and that will retire Garrett Cooper, who is 0 for 2. We go to the home third. Braves country. Michael Harris, hometown kid, will debut at the plate in a scoreless game. Braves baseball on Bally Sports is presented by Truist. Welcome back to Atlanta with Paul Bird, Jeff Francoeur, and our Bally Sports crew. I'm Chip Carey. No score, bottom 3. And Adam Duvall, Michael Harris, and Ronald Acuna Jr. are set to face Sandy Alcantara. The Marlins have left 2 men on base, both in scoring position. The Braves have stranded 1 man through their first turns at the plate. And another strike to Adam Duvall, who's hitting 191. A couple of homers, 16 driven in. Pop fly foul back toward us. Jeff, we talked about the defensive shifts for Atlanta with Michael playing center field now. Do you think that moving Adam out of center is going to help his production at the plate, as strange as that might sound?
I think so. I definitely think it's going to give him a chance to, be in his natural position, which is left field or right field, depending if Ronald's DHing. And hopefully we can see that kind of help him get in a nice groove.
Didn't mean to, and out of play. A casual fan might say, well, look, center field's the same as left to right. You're still running around, right? But that's not necessarily the case.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot more responsibility. There's a lot more ground to cover. You're going both sides.
Shadows right at the left-hand batter's box. The 0-2 pitch is high. It's 1-2. Alcantara peering over that red glove as his sign from Stallings and goes back to work.
I mean, that's to most fans at home watching that looks like a sinker, but it's a 92-mile-per-hour changeup.
Now the 2-2 to Adam. All the way to the backstop. Full count. His ball is moving so much, Stallings having trouble catching it. And you can understand, ball's coming out of bright sunshine, and just as it crosses the plate, you see the shadows dapple across the first base foul line and home plate. Something else for Michael Harris to have to deal with in a moment.
Yeah.
Not just Alcantara. 3-2 pitch. And he got him. A swing and a miss. That is 4 strikeouts for Alcantara. And here we go. Michael Harris about to make his major league debut as an Atlanta Brave hitter. And the big crowd will welcome him. Mom and Dad are here. The whole family is here from Metro Atlanta. The pitch is outside. Ball 1. Braves #1 rated prospect to hit .305, 33 runs, 33 RBIs at AA Mississippi. Gaudy numbers at AA. This isn't AA. You made that jump in 2005, Jeff. What was the biggest difference between AA pitching and the majors?
That 92-mile-per-hour changeups. And he backs it up with another one. Look, not every guy he faces is going to be Alcantara, to his defense. But at the end of the day, you know, look, he's going to have to learn. But if you can hit, you can hit. And I think this kid can hit.
Not that time. On 3 pitches. Harris is down on strikes. That's out number 2 in the 3rd inning. And as fast as that at bat seemed, Jeff, I would imagine it was an even bigger blur for Michael.
Yeah, look, you know what? It's a blur, but if anything now, hopefully he can run back in the outfield and you feel like I'm in a baseball game now.
And he's in the baseball encyclopedia forever.
Yeah, he kind of hated that fact that he had to wait till the 3rd inning to get an AB.
So 5 strikeouts the first time through the order for Alcantara. He got Ronald to start the day on a check swing. And at the belt to strike. Well, this is the time of day now where the pitchers ought to be able to fill up the strike zone. One ball, 1 strike. Ronald riding a 7-game hit streak against the Marlins with 5 extra base hits. Braves are 6-1 in those 7 games where Ronald has a hit. And a good cut there. It's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's our Dream Fearlessly stat brought to you by American Family Insurance. Ronald has destroyed the Marlins, as you see, in his major league career. '21 homers in 60 games. That's nothing to sneeze at.
No.
And averaging over a run a game. As that one's popped to the right side and into the second deck. Hey, great catch. Fan from Lulu, Florida made that play. And near Lake City. Make your trek up from Florida up I-75. Lovely part of the world. The pitch. It got him. And Acuna gets hit up and in. And you know the history between Acuna and the Marlins. Alcantara wasn't trying to do that. Obviously it got away. And Ronald walking very slowly on the infield grass and out toward first base. Let's see where it got him.
Yeah, right up in the shoulder.
Would it get the hand too on the way by? Well, I saw something else get plunked.
Yeah, he's looking at his wrist, so I don't think it was the first part in the shoulder.
Yeah, so it got him on the shoulder, and then on the ricochet it got him on the left hand, and that's what George Poulos, the Braves athletic trainer, is checking out as Ronald doubled over by the first base bag.
Yeah, it went from the shoulder to the wrist.
So Ronald looks like he's taken off the elbow guards, shin guards, and the like. And is he going to stay in the game? Yes. And again, there was no intent whatsoever.
Oh, well, you
Just
saw
got
how
away.
Contra hit him on the rear, just got away.
So when a hitter gets plunked, you know what they think about. That's trying to take it out on the base pass.
Yeah, right.
Where Ronald is 8 out of 8 in stolen bases this year. Let's see if he tries to take some liberties. You've got a hot hitting Dansby Swanson up. Dansby singled to extend his hitting streak in the first inning. And Acuna was adjusting his oven mitt and got caught with that oven mitt in the cookie jar. Alcantara caught Acuna napping and picks him off, and that's how the Atlanta third comes to an end. Acuna hit by a pitch and then picked off. No score. Through 3 scoreless on a beautiful Saturday in Atlanta. Hope your Memorial Day weekend is off to a great start. We hope that you'll pause and remember and thank the great men and women of our military for their current and sacrifices past.
100%.
As Tucker Davidson to work in the 4th inning, he'll start with former Brave Jorge Soler, and that's downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Great pregame ceremony today to honor for Memorial Day. Good flyover.
Awesome. As we look down in the Braves dugout from our perch here in the broadcast booth at Truist Park, Brian Snitker is not sitting in his customary seat by the dugout steps. Walt Weiss is there. I'm not seeing Ronald Acuna Jr. down there either. I wonder if they're going through some further examinations on that wrist.
Yeah, Snick could have had to use the bathroom too.
You know, I didn't think about that.
You know, it's a 9-inning game. I know you never have to go up here, which is amazing.
Well, hopefully Ronald came away from that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're testing it out down there.
Hit batsman okay. Can't afford to lose him after all he's gone through to get back. That would be a real shame if there's a major problem. As that's downstairs from Tucker Davidson, and Soler walks. That is 3 of them. That's what Tucker's got to clean up. He's walking too many people. That's 12 walks for him now in 13 1/3 big league innings this year. And you keep walking leadoff men, you're asking to get hit hard.
That's what kind of happened to him against Philadelphia, Chip. If you remember, that 2nd inning just kind of unraveled. Couldn't find the strike zone. Threw what, 43 pitches, I think, that inning, wasn't it?
Something like that. Yeah. As Aguilar digs in, he was the first man to walk today. And look, I guess this is part of the understanding where the game is phase of Tucker's career. there is no better time to pitch in a major league game than with these conditions at the plate, I would think.
And this defense behind you.
That's a good point. Can't defend a walk.
And that's the thing. I'm all for pitching in for a purpose, but at the same time, if you've noticed right now, he's just every pitch that's in is in off the plate, and he's not getting these hitters to chase.
One ball, one strike. That one found the mark. It's 1-2. Snit's back in his seat as Davidson stretches. And the pitch is pulled foul at third. It's one of the many great things about all the new major league facilities. In the old days, if a player got hurt and you wondered about a serious problem, they'd have to be carted off to the hospital and get imaging or x-rays done. All the new facilities have such equipment on site, so you can find out in the blink of an eye if there's a major injury. Hopefully not the case with Acuna, who was hit by a Sandy Alcantara pitch. In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Aguilar, the Marlins cleanup hitter. Braves have a shift on for him with nobody out. Soler leads the pitch. And we'll try again. Ronald is back to the Braves dugout bench. That's an encouraging sign. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And my guess is he went down there, they checked it out, and he probably even took a few swings down there in the cage just to see how it felt. It's like everything seems to be okay. Got his bat and everything there.
Just hope the wrist doesn't stiffen up in between at bats today as we labor in the 4th inning. Another payoff pitch, and that one bounces away into the Braves on deck circle. Back-to-back walks from Tucker Davidson, and he's got 4 walks on the day, 2 on, nobody out. Birdie, Tucker looked very good in the 1st inning, but has walked 4 men in the last 2+.
He has looked sharp, and Cranny walking out here right now. This is a good time to remind the rookie that the shadows are in play and it's very hard to hit. Also, if I'm catching Contreras or if I'm pitching and I can tell Contreras, hey, I'm missing, so I'd love to see that glove on a third of the plate, even down the middle, because chances are when you aim for that glove, you're not going to hit it right away. You're going to be off, and he's been pulling right, so you can also make those adjustments with the glove.
Well, we'll see if he can make an adjustment here, Paul. In a scoreless game, the Marlins threaten 2 on with nobody out as the Braves talk it over. Here's a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
You know, we haven't seen. How about a triple play?
Well, look where Austin Riley's playing. You got an opportunity here. Sharp one right to him.
Rojas lined out. That was to Michael Harris in the 2nd inning. Soler and Aguilar, the runners aboard, and there's a quick strike. It's 0-1.
I agree. With the shadows, like you said, throw strikes, make them put it in play.
Wind blowing in toward the Marlins dugout. Davidson's pitch is off the end of the bat. Pulled a string.
And that's what you get when the shadows are like this. You know, probably another 20-30 minutes. Once it goes past the pitcher's mound, then you know, everything's kind of in the shade, but right here, that's the hardest thing, to see the wrinkle in the ball.
I was going to ask, spin.
Yeah, you saw that. He got way out in front of that pitch.
So Tucker, use that to your advantage in a scoreless game. No balls, 2 strikes. Sharply hit. Dansby flags that down and tried a backhanded flip to second. Got nothing on it, and everybody's safe. Great stop by Swanson to keep it on the infield, but couldn't get enough on the throw to even get a force out. Instead of 2, Braves get none, and they're loaded.
Take a look here. He had a beautiful play. Oh, he never had it in his hand, really. You see how it started to kind of come up. As you said, had made a great play. That was a tough one-hopper.
So now you've got real trouble. Here's Joey Wendell with the bases loaded, nobody out. The trouble started with back-to-back walks. And a fly ball to center. Harris will retreat. That'll be deep enough to get a run home. The throw will come toward third, and it's a strong throw from Michael. Yep. But a sacrifice fly by Wendell, and Alcantara and the Marlins enjoy a 1-0 lead.
They do, but the great thing about that right there is you were able to get the sac fly and keep Aguilar at second base, Chip. So now you got the ability with Stallings, De La Cruz. You get out of this thing with only 1 run, you feel like you won.
Professional at bat by Wendell. He picks up his 11th RBI, and now Stallings, the catcher, who bounced out to second his first time up. Dansby still upset that he couldn't get a clean grip on that baseball. Get the double play and a Wendell flyout, you'd be out of the inning. No fault of Dansby's, it happened. But to the bigger point, as we said, it's tough to pitch around and defend walks.
Yep.
And one of them has come across here in the 4th inning for Miami. Stallings having a nice month of May. 9 ribbies in his last 14 games. He's up in an RBI spot here. The pitch. In the Braves 4th, Swanson, Ozuna, and Riley are coming up. Still some work to be done here with the Marlins catcher, Jacob Stallings, the 5th man to hit in the inning. On the ground, might be 2. There's 1. Ozzie the turn. Tucker Davidson, a heck of a job to get out of that mess. Bases loaded, nobody out. He gives up only 1 run. You knew you had to score at least 1 today. Now you just got to score 2. We'll see if Atlanta can do that when we come up in the 4th inning. Marlins lead 1-0.
Was brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet. Only from Xfinity. And by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Michael Harris making his major league debut for the Braves today. He's 0 for 1. Let's see if he can come up here in the 4th inning. That would be a great thing because it would mean 7 men would come up before him in this 1-0 Marlins game. Time for our stats with Lowe's. Dansby Swanson enjoying life against the East.
Yeah, he's reached safely in the last 9 versus the East. He has 10 hits in the last 5 games against the East.
And has one today, a 1st inning single against Alcantara. 11 hits and 20 at bats on the homestand for the Braves shortstop. And we're getting notification on the play at shortstop. Rojas reaches on a fielder's choice E6. It's still an earned run.
But we still got the no-hitter.
We still have the no-hitter. That's right. The Marlins have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base runners, but no hits, but the lead. And this one on the ground to short. Rojas has it. And his peg to first is in time for out number 1. The Cincinnati Reds had a game like this. They threw a no-hitter and lost.
Yeah, let's don't be the second team to do it this year.
Yep.
They lost to the Buccos 1-0.
The battling Buccos out of Pittsburgh. And here's Ozuna. He hit into a double play in the first. A hard hit topspin ground ball to Joey Wendell. In case you didn't know it, Marcell Ozuna and Sandy Alcantara were traded for each other. Alcantara came from the Cardinals to Miami. Marcell went to St. Louis. No balls and a strike.
It's one of those always looking back, and Marcell had 2 really good years there. But you think, man, it would have been nice to have him in our uniform.
And you can see Alcantara, knowing the conditions, knowing he's got his plus stuff, he's just filling up the strike zone.
Yep.
47 pitches, only 16 balls. 2-to-1 strike to ball ratio. As he pulled that one off the plate, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Popped up into shallow center. Birdie is under and makes the play for out number 2. And Austin Riley, the hitter, he reached on an infield single. Alcantara delivers, and that pushed Riley off the plate. These cannot be comfortable at bats against a guy throwing this hard with so much movement.
Yeah, it's tough to see. That's the hard thing. It's bearing in on you, like you said, at 98, 99.
He's getting loose. So again, can Riley beat him to the spot? The pitch. Not that time. A 94-mile-an-hour changeup. Sorry, Tom Glavine.
It's unbelievable.
1-2.
And to have as much break as it does, late drop.
This young man is an elite starter in the major leagues. There's no denying that. Marlins gave him a 5-year deal. It takes him through the 26th season. There's an option for the 27 campaign. And the 2-2 pitch is at the tomahawk, and Riley couldn't pull the trigger. 6 strikeouts for Alcantara, who holds a 1-0 lead heading to the 5th.
Atlanta, everybody, 1-0 Marlins, top 5. The anxious awaited debut of Michael Harris II. I'm here with Dad, Michael Sr. We got over here Latasha, Michaela, Kimberly, and Aunt on the end, Christy. That's a lot of names. Everybody's excited. I got to hear, what was it like when you got the call from Michael he was going to the big leagues?
Actually, I was asleep. I had to be to work at 5:30 in the morning. He called me and asked, "Are you asleep?" I said, "Yes." He told me to hold on. Then he calls his mom that's laying next to me on her phone.
Okay.
So we got both of us on the phone. Then he said, "How you guys doing?" I'm wondering, can you guys pick me up in the morning from the airport? You like, for what? You going to Gwinnett? He said, "No, I'm going higher." And I said, "Stop playing." He said, "No." I said, "Well, I'll be there." Well, she said, "I'll be there in the morning." And I said, "Well, I'm going back to sleep because he's playing."
And you couldn't go back to sleep?
I couldn't go back to sleep. I was up for the rest of the night. Sorry about that.
Mom, how about that catch right there?
That was awesome.
You got a little emotional seeing your son walk up to the plate. What was going on inside?
I did. This has just been his dream since he was 3. And he said he was going to be here, and to see him out there, I thought I could handle it, but I got teary-eyed. I was trying to take a picture, and I couldn't even take a picture. But I am just so overjoyed for him to be living his dream.
Now, we heard he played the other sports, but he said number 1 was baseball. Crazy passionate about it.
That's the one sport that he didn't stop. He played the other ones, but that was the one that he never stopped, and he slept with a bat and a ball all the time and would always get in trouble for throwing the ball around in the house. But it paid off. So.
It paid off. Those windows are broken. Who cares now? He's in the big leagues doing very, very well. You guys grew up Braves fans, Jason Hayward and others. What does it mean to you, not just to see him in the big leagues, but in a Braves jersey?
It means everything. This is, oh, my phone is ringing. I'm sorry about that, but this has been my dream, playing baseball. And the Braves, that's when I fought. When I went to school and I got straight A's, I went to the Braves game. I always remember that. So I said, when he gets up, I'm going to take him to the Braves game. But I didn't have to because he fell in love by himself. And when he wore that cap and gown with that Braves jersey on it, that just brought tears to my eyes. That let me know that he was a true Braves fan.
Well, I got to tell you, these are some awesome interviews right here in the stands. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to let y'all go so you can see more fantastic catches, great stories, and some parenting advice, guys. Get your education. When you get good grades as kids, go to the Braves games. Parents, that should be the reward. Turned out well for Michael Harris. Guys.
That has to bring back some memories, Jeff, when your folks were here for your first big league game. You hit the home run off Glendon Rush and the Cubs.
Yep. You know, just seeing, I love it. Mom's so excited. You know, I had a chance today to honor the Braves 400 Club guys down there, and that's what I told all the guys. Give your mom a big hug for everywhere that they've taken. How many times the studio's going to steal on you? Pretty quick for a big guy, huh?
Yep.
But, you know, it's outstanding for him that he gets this opportunity. And like you said, to share it with everybody. And I love it how his dad answers the phone when he's asleep like that, because I can see that.
There's no question, huh?
Why are you calling? You got a reason to call.
What did you do?
Yeah, exactly.
What's wrong? As John Birdie struck out, Garrett Cooper, the hitter. And this one off Tucker Davidson. It ricochets into no man's land between the mound and first base. And right now the Marlins are hitting them where they ain't. And that one got a piece of the Braves starter Tucker Davidson. Let's see if the athletic staff goes out to check on him. Looks like they will. Snit's going to join as well. First and third with 2 outs. Garrett Cooper, another hit, figuratively and literally.
That hit him right on the. You can see him pointing right on the behind.
So while Snit and Rick Kranitz check on Tucker Davidson, let's enjoy a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
It was 107 miles an hour off the bat. And Davidson gets
He was showing them his finger for a second. I don't
think there's any blister problems.
No, that's why. And I think the ball hit him, like I said, in the rear, right? Is that?
You could say buttocks.
Yeah,
like
I don't know ever what to say on that
No,
one
yes, you do.
Well, I do, but I can't.
Well, I'm not sure if the broadcast is on delay, but I think the audience gets the point. Or as my dad used to say, if you're going to hit a major league player somewhere, hit him where the wallet is. It won't hurt.
That's right.
So Tucker Davidson will continue on here for first and third with 2 outs, and Soler, the batter. He's struck out, walked, and has scored the game's only run. The hit by Cooper, the second of the game for Miami. Great job, Birdie, with the Harris family interview. I loved how Mom said that playing in the major leagues was his dream since he was 3 years old. Here's something that'll put that in perspective. First, the 1-0 pitch. When Jeff Francoeur got to the major leagues in 2005, Michael Harris was 4 years old.
There you go.
Point is, it flies fast, doesn't it?
It does.
1 ball, 1 strike. First and third, Astudillo getting a huge lead. And that one taken low.
That's what I was telling you. I was talking to those kids today, and I thought to myself, man, it was 20 years ago that I got honored at the Braves 400 thing and got drafted.
Took him that long to invite you back, huh?
Right.
Yeah, Wayne Coleman and the Braves 400 Club, they do a great job.
They do.
Fantastic fans, glad to have him here today. As the Braves left-hander Tucker Davidson back to work. A little tapper back to the mound. Take your time, kid. Load up, and he threw a strike to first, and that will retire the side. The Marlins get a couple of hits, but they strand a couple of runners. Matt Olson leads off in a 1-0 game. In Atlanta, let's see if the Braves can get something started with Matt Olson. Let's check out our Coors Light beating the pressure feature. The Braves have enjoyed facing the Marlins here at Truist Park.
Yeah, they have not been shut out home versus Miami since September of 2020, and they've scored 5+ runs in 12 of those 20 games.
Well, they've got their hands full today against Sandy Alcantara, who is pitching with the absolute minimum of run support. He leads 1-0. And for the Marlins, this is how they've played all year. They've played 21-run games. They've lost 14 of them. And as we told you, Alcantara gets very little run support. This man has a losing big league record. Alcantara in 60 major league decisions is 24-36, and the Marlins have given him 2 or fewer runs of support in 37 of 87 major league games. But he's got 1 on this day. Matt Olson, 2 balls and a strike in the dirt. We'll take base runners any way we can get them. And now, Jeff, the shadows have crept almost all the way across the mound.
Yeah, it definitely will start to be a little bit easier for these hitters.
Higher than high fastball at 98, full count. Matt struck out swinging in the second, one of 6 Braves to go down against Alcantara today. The pitch. And he's down again. 7 strikeouts, 2 in a row, 1 out. Here's Ozzie. Ozzie, a strikeout victim in the Atlanta second. Braves have 1 hit. That was, excuse me, they have 2 hits. A first inning single and a second inning single. And a strike. He is just playing country hardball. That was at almost 100.
He's bringing it.
And Ozzie swung late. Asks if it was a strike. I think the answer was yes, and that's 3 in a row and 8 in total for the Marlins right-hander.
Hey, think of all the big hard throwers, Chip, that you see. That ball's 100 miles on the outside part of the corner. He averages 97.4 miles per hour on his fastball, which is, not surprisingly, #1 in all of baseball.
So look, he's in the same category as DeGrom.
Yeah.
Doesn't get run support, throws hard. Downward plane, mixes his pitches. I mean, he's something else.
And the thing that's so tough is sometimes you have these type guys, Chip, and you go, okay, we can get him out of there by the 6th because, you know, they throw a lot of pitches. That's not Alcantara.
One ball, 1 strike. As Contreras down to his last strike. Just got to hope he loses the magic at some point, as that's taken low. And a 2-2 count. If you look closely at the glove of Sandy Alcantara, you'll see RIP Mom and Lexi on the backside of the glove. His mom, Francisca Montero, died last July in the Dominican Republic, and his brother Alexander passed away in a motorcycle accident shortly after he made his big league debut. And he is pitching passionate baseball today through 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. He just struck out the side and leads 1-0. 26 hits combined. No, the game wasn't at Coors Field. It was at Nationals Park, and Victor Robles hit a home run for the Nats. They enjoyed a 13-7 victory over the Rockies, a club that we will see on our upcoming road trip that will take us to Arizona and then the Mile High City for 4 beginning next Thursday evening. Rockies are 20-24 on the year, now 20-25. And Darren O'Day, the next Atlanta pitcher. Tucker Davidson departs after being hit with a batted ball and completing 5 innings, allowing just 1 run.
Yeah, you know, at this point, you know, he was able to, you know, give you 5 innings, threw some balls. I don't know if that kind of hurt him at the end, getting hit like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, that one, go back to that 4th inning, bases loaded, no outs, and to get only 1 run versus a guy like Alcantara, he has kept you in this ball game.
Exactly right. Giving the Braves a chance through 5 innings of 1-run ball. 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 hits for Tucker Davidson today. And now O'Day with the submarine delivery goes to work against Aguilar, Rojas, and Joey Wendell here in the 6th inning. It's 1-0. Miami leads the middle game of 3 here in Atlanta today. You hated facing guys like this, huh?
Yeah, I hated sidearmers.
Why?
It's just such a different, you never see it. That's one thing.
Oh, okay.
And then when you do, you just, I tried every approach I could. Just never really worked out for me.
No, I won't bring up your head-to-head numbers with Peter. I know that's a sore subject for you. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got into that a bit last night. The pitch. But it goes to show you that changing your arm angle for a major league hitter is a big problem. And look where he's got to try to pick up the ball. It's almost, Jeff, like it's right out of the edge of that shadow and sunshine.
Yeah.
5 innings, 2 hits, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Aguilar. Do you remember facing Darren O'Day in major leagues?
Yeah, I did, I think.
How'd you do?
I have no idea. Probably didn't get any hits against him either.
You're right. You're 0 for 2.
That's what I told you. I think the only sidearm guy I ever got hit off was Joe Smith.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a double off him, I remember, because I was so excited. I felt like I had accomplished a lot.
Well, it's like when Chad Durbin was here with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Chad was a Brave briefly toward the end of his career, and Durbin was a great major league pitcher, not a submarine guy. And I love the story you were telling Chad and the rest of us when you finally got a hit against him, right?
Oh, I smiled right at him, and he knew it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and off the end of the bat foul.
It's funny guys you match up with, and you know, you would think that was a good matchup for me. It's kind of just a cutter away. I could get extended on it. And then you have guys like Rick Porcello, big sinker baller guy who I hit great.
That's why the matchups are given to us during every game, and that's why they're so fun to watch.
That's why you'll see some guys sometimes in there and it'll kind of shake your head, and then you go look at the numbers and you know why.
Foul back again. Aguilar putting up a fight here against O'Day. And Jesus will see a 9th pitch. Bright sunny day at the ballpark in Atlanta. 1-0 Miami. Just 4 hits combined. Through 5 turns for each club. And that one lifted towards center. And right at Michael Harris. Glasses gleaming. Mom and Dad will appreciate that. He's had a flawless day in the outfield to this point. And Aguilar is 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. 1 away. And when you watch a young player play defensively, you look at jumps, you look at reads. You look at the throwing arm. I look at when the ball goes up, does he look nervous? Michael does not look nervous at all when the ball's in the air. It's like he's been doing it at this level for years defensively. Here's Rojas. He is 0 for 2. Piece of cake. Got the glasses on a bright day. No trouble. As O'Day ahead of the Marlins shortstop, Miguel Rojas. And upstairs, even count. That Washington Colorado game we talked about, it's the first of 2 today. The Cardinals already won. They beat Milwaukee 8-3. The Reds lead the Giants 3-1 in Cincinnati. This one is rifled toward left. Ozuna on his horse as far as he can go, and it's out of here. Miguel Rojas has hit a home run. That's his 3rd of the year, and the Marlins extend their lead. It's now 2-0.
Yeah, Rojas does not hit much for power anymore, but still very strong. Got a pitch down in the zone. And that's the one thing for Darren now. That pitch that you saw was 86, used to be 92, 93. And so for Darren now, more than ever, he's got to be able to work both sides of the plate, and Rojas dropped the head on that one.
Rojas' first homer since May 17th against the Nationals. And Joey Wendell is the hitter. And that's in for a strike. Tells you how the game has changed. O'Day's throwing that last fastball 86 miles an hour. That is certainly respectable at any level, but with so many guys throwing 95 and above, that is a tough adjustment for a pitcher to have to make. Let's see if he can do it here with Wendell, who is quickly behind 0-2. He drove in the game's first run with a sac fly in the 4th inning. And he shoots this one toward Marcel in the bright sunshine. He's got that. And Wendell is the second out. And Jacob Stallings coming up. Stallings hit into a double play in the 4th inning. Boy, was that a big lift for Tucker Davidson. The Marlins had the bases loaded, nobody out. All they got out of it was a sacrifice fly. Then the double play ended the threat. And so for Tucker, who lasted 2 2/3 innings against the Phillies, a little more efficient in today's game. And as Jeff suggested, gave the Braves 5. But now it's a 2-0 score after the Rojas home run. Another interesting news story in Major League Baseball popped late last night. There had been a lot of talk about how the rosters were going to be put together in the big leagues at the end of this month, with the shortened spring training and the labor talks delaying the start of the spring activities. Major League Baseball has said that all the teams can keep 14 pitchers until the start of play on June the 20th.
Oh, so pushed it back again.
Pushed it back again. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think that's something everybody's still very much in favor of. Trying to keep guys upright. As Jacob Stallings now awaits a 2-2 pitch. And back to the netting for the Marlins catcher, the former Pirate. O'Day 20 pitches, 15 strikes. And now the 2-2 with the shift on. Here it is. And a swing and a miss. Will retire the side. Rojas hits a solo homer to give Alcantara a 2-0 lead. Atlanta, you see that on our Xfinity live look cam. Shadows creeping out toward the cut of the infield grass on the left side of the diamond here as Sandy Alcantara goes back to work enjoying a 2-0 lead. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. 8-9-1 for the Braves in the 6th inning. Got to find a way to make some contact against Mr. Alcantara, who has struck out 9 hitters. 69 pitches for Sandy, 17 swings and misses. And that one off the netting foul. Strike 1 for Duvall. One thing you hope the Braves will be able to improve on by adding Michael Harris, another left-handed bat, to this lineup, is their work against right-handed starting pitching. They're 6 games under 500 against righties, and are striking out about 30% of the time. This one might have broken Adams' bat. It did, and it's 0-2. So Adams got some work to do. He'll get some pine tar and hopefully has a bat that's got a hit in it. The Braves have 2 of those in the game. They came in the first 2 innings. One of them, the infield hit by Austin Riley. Alcantara just froze Duvall over the inside corner, and he's got 10 strikeouts on the day.
He's got 5 in a row now. Look at this 99 chip down. I mean, just it's tough.
Well, he's already blown by his game high in strikeouts for a season. That was set against the Braves last time out with 7. His career high is 14. One away in the Atlanta 6th, and Michael Harris up for the 2nd time as a big leaguer. There's his first ball 1 count. Let's get that first hit out of the way, kid. And off the plate.
Good eye.
2-0. I'm told that Harris has line-to-line ability, kind of like Jason Hayward.
Yeah.
Pull side power. As the 2-0 pitch is lashed out of play to the left side. I hope you'll stick around for the stretch presented by Synovus. We'll talk about this big day for Michael Harris. The Braves' #1 prospect has arrived in the big leagues today. And there's the first big league hit. There we go. Hopefully the first of 3,000.
How nice is that? Going the other way. I'll tell you what, you learn that quick at a young age when you're facing a guy like Alcantara. Don't try to pull that ball. He saw 2-0. Man, that ball came in quick. It was late on it. That time shortened up. Put a beautiful swing on it. That one will get the sticker.
Now we got to figure out who gets it, mom or dad.
The home.
It's going to the home trophy case.
Home,
First career hit. And that's a big one because that brings up Ronald Acuna Jr., who gave us a scare last time up. Hit on the shoulder and wrist with the same pitch. And then was picked off first base. You know, he's seeking revenge against Alcantara here. Ronald 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And first pitch deflects off Alcantara and into center field, a hit. Harris around second. He's going to fly to third. We got action here in the Atlanta 6th.
You know, that was kind of, at first, it was a bad break because it hit off his glove. it was going to go through, and then it became a good break because of where he tipped it right between the defenders. That was 100. That was going to sneak through. Then I thought, oh man, but it was able to sneak through, and now you got first and third.
And Dansby's put the ball in play twice against the hard-throwing Marlin. He's got one of the Atlanta hits. Braves have out-hit him 4-3 now. Let's see if Dansby can make some contact and at least bring home one run. Big inning. Michael Harris, first major league hit. Acuna, his first hit today. And they're at the corners here at Truist Park. Smart pitch by Alcantara. Dansby looking fastball. Got something with a hook. And a swing and a miss. Strike one. 4 RBIs on the homestand for Swanson. 11 hits. Acuna's running. And Dansby takes a strike. Acuna gets the base. He's 9 for 9. So down 1 strike. Dansby took one on the inner half, and Acuna's in scoring position.
Well, I think that goes to show you too a little bit of how Dansby's feeling. He feels confident right now to hit with 2 strikes, and this is an area where he decided to let one go, and even a ground ball to short, something here, gets at least 1 in and cuts that lead.
No balls, 2 strikes. On the ground, that'll score a run. Dansby put it in play. Acuna's going to streak across to third, and he's in safely. RBI number 24 for Swanson. Harris scores his first big league run. It's a 2-1 game. We'll see if the Marlins check on this play at third base. And Miami is going to check this play out. They're going to challenge.
Now there you go, putting the ball in play. In a game like this to get that 1 run. First hit, first run.
Miami is challenging the safe call at third base.
And Alcantara over talking to Ronald again about hitting him with a pitch in the 3rd inning. Totally unintentional. So the 5-3 ground out drives home Michael Harris. Cooper with a strong and accurate throw to third. Let's see if Acuna beat the rap.
The throw was a little high from Cooper.
Looks like he's got the bag from that angle on the swipe tag.
I don't know what they saw there.
The tag got him on the belt. Question is, did Acuna's hand get in? Call was safe. Marlins going to challenge. Try to get out of this inning.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. Miami retains their challenge.
We must have had an angle, or they must have had an angle that we just couldn't see where his hand wasn't on the base. That's the only thing I can.
So Acuna makes the 3rd out at third. The Braves settle for 1. It's 2-1 game. In Atlanta on Memorial Day weekend, Michael Harris's first major league hit. That's our T-Mobile coverage cam. For the best coverage in the game, check out T-Mobile. Rojas knows the deal. First major league hit for the Atlanta kid. That'll be in the Braves dugout, sent to the authenticator, and soon to the Harris residence in Atlanta, Georgia. The first of what we hope, Jeff, will be many big league hits.
And then also scoring the run for Atlanta here to cut it to 2-1.
Attention media, today's attendance is 40,682. That's a sellout.
Sellout crowd of 40,682. The Braves over 1 million in attendance. Here on May the 28th, Colin McHugh, the new Atlanta pitcher. And that was a pretty good pitch, called a ball. I know the Braves are struggling to score against Alcantara. Was Ronald's attempt to go to third on that play a case of trying to do too much?
Yeah, I mean, you always know with him he's going to be hustling, but at the same time he's so fast. The last thing you want to do is make that last out there at third, knowing, again, like I said, how fast he's going to score from second on a base hit.
So Brian De La Cruz, the first to greet Colin McHugh. And that's fouled back to the screen. 2 balls and a strike. So the Braves get a run back. We got a 2-1 score. 8-9-1 for Miami in the 7th. The Braves will have the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. The 2-1 pitch. Look at that ball break. De La Cruz gave up on it. And Colin, now an even count. De La Cruz has flied to Michael Harris in center twice today. So he's 0 for 2. The pitch. This one on the ground. Left side. Dansby charges and into the shadows he goes for out number 1. Good start for Colin McHugh here in the 7th. Williams Astudillo is the hitter. He's 1 for 2. First, a quick message from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
With our free in-store assembly and pre-assembled grills and smokers, buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store. So keep those grilling plans at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Williams Astudillo is the hitter. Kid made his big league debut with the Twins back in 2018. He's appeared at every position except shortstop in a major league game. How about that for a man whose nickname is La Tortuga?
Tortuga. I love that.
Comes from a baseball family. His dad and granddad all played in Venezuela. And he's got another base hit, this time on an 0-2 count.
Guy could always hit, I'll tell you that. It's just always been tough trying to find him a position.
5'9", 225.
That 5'9's a little exaggerated.
Is that all? Here's Birdie with 1 on, 1 out. But you know, a guy like Astudillo's what makes this game so great. If you can play, size, shape, doesn't matter. There's a place for you in this sport. And he said that was something that really helped propel him to the major leagues. He was told he didn't look like a baseball player. He's too short, too stocky. Well, as he said, here he is and having a big day.
Yeah.
For the Marlins. A late addition to their lineup once Brian Anderson came up lame with a sore back before first pitch. Got to hold him here and hope the Braves can make some hay with their final 3 outs. They did it last night, you might remember. Miami took a 1-run lead through 6. Braves got 3 in the 7th to snatch away a victory in game 1. Three-0 count. Right there from Colin. Braves bullpen this month has done an excellent job. A 2.78 team ERA, 107 strikeouts in 87 innings.
Wow.
And that just missed inside. Birdie takes ball 4, 2 on, 1 out, and Garrett Cooper's coming up. Boy, we really enjoyed having Mike Soroka and Tyler Matzik with us last night. So encouraging to know that Mike is going to be on his way down to Florida tomorrow to continue his rehab from the second torn Achilles. No firm timetable, but certainly, Jeff, progressing in the right direction. And Tyler Matzik sounded great and optimistic about his shoulder woes.
It'd be nice to get both those guys back. Obviously, Matzik sooner than Soroka, hopefully.
Cooper a double play candidate. And that's in for a strike. Sunshine now peeking through in the right-hand batter's box while McHugh pitches in the shadows. It's even for a piece. Miami 2, Braves 1. Didn't mean to. There's a break. 0-2. Let's see if Colin can polish off Cooper here. Terrific stop. A ball and 2 strikes. For the improvements of this kid behind the plate, seeing it every day. Textbook.
The fact that we really haven't talked about it this year, that's a good sign. When you're not talking about a catcher's defense, that means they're doing their job.
Yeah, you notice it too when catcher struggles back there. He has worked long and hard with Sal Fasano and Eddie Perez. Let's see if it pays off again. The pitch. Did it go? Nope. It's 2-2. Reminds me of when Casey Stengel was talking about the expansion Mets. Took a catcher very early on in the expansion draft and was asked by the New York media, why'd you take so-and-so as a catcher? He said, well, catching position's very important. And the press said, well, other than the obvious, why? Casey Stengel said, because otherwise you have a lot of pass balls. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And tried up in the zone, and Cooper, seeing the ball well against the Braves, has a full count. Now let's see how Don Mattingly plays it. You've got Soler on deck. You've got runners at first and second. You got 1 out. Let's see if Miami does some running. They lead. They don't go. And Cooper unloads to left center field. Harris on the run. Won't get that. That's off the base of the wall. One's going to score for sure. They're going to wave Birdie around. Here comes the relay throw to Ozzie. They overshoot the cutoff man. And Garrett Cooper does it again to Atlanta. A 2-run double, and the Marlins extend their lead to 4-1.
Unbelievable, man. They had this kid 0-2 Cooper, and he comes all the way back to 3-2 and just continues to punish the Braves.
Well, that's the walks, Jeff, that are just opening up.
Yeah, well, for sure.
The door. And look, as good as the Braves staff has been, that's a problem. Brave staff is walking a lot of people. Can't do that. Davidson walked 4. 1 scored. McHugh walks a man in the 7th. That run scores. Those 2 runs are huge in this game, which is now 4-1 in favor of the Marlins and Sandy Alcantara. One ball, 1 strike for Jorge Soler. The pitch. Had the plate, but was low. Coming into play today, per the Braves press notes, the starters have issued 168 walks. That's 5th most in the majors. The starters are behind only Washington for the most walks issued by a starting staff in the major leagues. So as good as the staff has been, you know, that's something they really want to whittle down here. It's not just the walks, Jeff, as you know, it's the ability of the opposing lineup to turn over and over again.
Well, and it's like anything. You can probably for 1 inning walk a couple guys. Sometimes you get out of it, but when you continuously do it, these guys are in the big leagues for a reason. At some point, someone's going to make you pay. And in a game like this where you know you're facing a guy like Contra.
That's rolled over toward third. Riley's going to charge. He'll have one play, and he makes it. No advance of Cooper from second. Soler is retired. He's 0 for 3. And Aguilar is coming up. Fans, have you thought about becoming a Braves A-list season ticket member, but you're not sure what's the best location for you at the ballpark? The Fielder's Choice Ticket Plan offers the chance to have Braves ticket banks that you can redeem for any number of tickets to any game of your choosing. Sounds complicated, but it's not. You'll also get 20% savings off gate prices. Get all the information and your options at Braves.com/Fielder's Choice. Aguilar's walked twice. He's also flied out. And he jumps all over the first one. Harris in right center will be met by Adam Duvall. And it's Adam Duvall who puts that away in the shadows for out number 3. 2 runs on 2 hits. Miami extends the lead. We're in the middle of the 7th inning. It's time for the stretch.
The Stretch is brought to you by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
We welcome you into the stretch presented by Synovus. The Braves with some work to do here in the bottom half, trailing the Marlins by 3. But the headline for Atlanta this afternoon is going to be owned by Michael Harris, their top prospect, getting the call this morning, turning around and then ringing mom and dad here in Atlanta saying, hey, come pick me up at the airport. Why? You headed to Gwinnett? Oh, no, Mama. I'm headed to the show. And I'll tell you, he has looked comfortable in the outfield. Better yet, he collected the first major league hit and run, Peter.
I don't think there's a better feeling than walking in and seeing your name on a big league jersey in a big league locker room. Well, having said that, maybe when you walk out to the field and hear your name announced for the first time, that might be a little bit cooler. Cool. But for Michael Harris, what a day. Friends, family, everybody in the stands. He's dreamed of this moment. He's an Atlanta kid, grew up, wore an Atlanta jersey under his graduation. I mean, he's talking, this has been his dream for a long, long time. He comes up first at bat. Sandy Alcantara, who's one of the toughest pitchers in the league, gets 3 pitches, swings and misses, and then learns his lesson and comes back up in the second at bat and decides to go deep. Then we see a slice of his hustle going first to third on a Dansby Swanson single and then scoring our first run of the day today. Huge day for him, but it's only just started. I think we've got a big comeback up our sleeves.
A very memorable day for the Stockbridge High School native here in Atlanta. I know he's got a lot of people either here. We saw mom and dad. They were enjoying the afternoon. What a great interview. And lots of probably friends at home watching this one on TV and hoping the Braves have some late inning heroics in them once again. We'll get you back to Braves baseball after a quick word from our friends at Synovus.
Opportunity won't always come to you, but with Synovus as your bank, you can always go towards it. Synovus, get there.
Okay, guys, great job with the stretch. 4-1 is your score as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. If you're just joining us here on Bally Sports, terrific pitching matchup to start. Tucker Davidson for the Braves, Sandy Alcantara for the Marlins. The game was scoreless through 3 innings when Miami got a couple of walks back-to-back, an E6 and a sacrifice fly to score the game's first run. The Braves got their first run in the 6th inning. Michael Harris, as you just saw, got his first major league hit and later scored on a Dansby Swanson groundout. But a homer by Rojas in the 6th for the Marlins and a 2-run double from Garrett Cooper. That man again, who's knocked in 10 runs against the Braves so far this year, has made it a 4-1 score in favor of the Miami Marlins. So Marcell Ozuna, Austin Riley, and Matt Olson are coming up. And let's take a look at Austin Riley's good work. He's coming up second after Marcell Ozuna. This is what Riley has done since May 23rd.
Yeah, let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Really, since he's come home this homestand, he's got 5 singles, the double. But what do you see and notice in the spray chart again? Using up the middle the other way. That's when Austin's best, when we show that spray chart.
Well, look at Alcantara. He is itching to go back to work here. He's got Ozuna to bounce into a double play, and he's also popped out. Now he's got the luxury of a 3-run lead. At the plate, but low. 2 balls, no strikes. That caught the inside corner. 2-1 the count. That's in the dirt. All help appreciated. Was that called a strike?
A scoring change from the Miami's 4th inning. Fred Rojas with an infield hit. No error to Swanson. It does not affect the run that scored that inning. Again, credit Rojas with an infield hit in the 4th inning for Miami.
Ozuna pops that one off the screen foul. You heard in the background they have changed the scoring on the Rojas 4th inning smash to Dansby Swanson. They gave him a hit. Either way, it would have been an earned run.
Yeah,
so
either way.
Rojas gets rewarded for putting the ball in play sharply to short. And Ozuna back to work the pitch. And a swing and a miss. That's 11 strikeouts for the Atlanta offense. 1 away in the home 7th.
You know, when you watch him, Chip, he mixes up his 3 pitches as good as any starting pitcher we see. You know that? It's unbelievable.
So let's see if Riley can get something started here. He's got a hit today. Swing and a miss.
Also, just Davidson's pitching line to reflect he allowed 3 hits in his 5 innings.
It makes you wonder, and there's still a ways to go in this game. I don't know if Alcantara will get through 9 innings as he's up to 88 pitches today. But when's the last time in the major leagues a starter has had back-to-back complete games in consecutive starts?
That's been a while.
One ball, 2 strikes from Alcantara, and that's popped out of play right side. A fan from Faceville, Georgia, made the play. It's down near Bainbridge, Jeff, if you haven't been to Faceville.
Haven't been in a while.
Well, there's no time like the present. Get an off day, head on down to Faceville. The pitch is cut on and missed. Austin Riley is out number 2. So as we said, the Braves over 1 million in attendance today. That's our All-State Mayhem moment. And that lucky fan, Gary Royal, an A-list member here since 1996, was surprised by Blooper, the Braves heavy hitters, the Tomahawk team, and Blake Eason, the Braves pregame host. Got a ticket upgrade to the Delta Sky 360 Club. You get to hang out with guys like Jeff Blauser down there. I mean, got the 1 million commemorative jersey, all kinds of world champion swag. So congratulations to Gary Royal, fan number 1 million.
Right place at the right time.
And the Braves just rolling along in attendance here at Truist Park. The pitch to Matt Olson is taken low.
That last fastball to Matt, over 100 miles per hour.
He's lost nothing.
The 94th pitch of the day.
He's lost absolutely nothing. Now the 1-2 pitch. Made contact but popped up. And Wendell, the Lone Ranger, in the shadows left side, and Alcantara is through 7 with a 3-run lead. 4-1 is your score. We continue in the 8th after the break. Crowd in Atlanta hoping for a late inning comeback. The Marlins lead the Braves by a 4-1 score. New pitcher on for Brian Snitker. It's Dylan Lee. He's the fourth man to work for the Braves. Tucker Davidson went 5. O'Day and McHugh an inning apiece. We'll see if Dylan can shut down the fish. He's done good work in his first 2 big league games this season.
It could be a good option down there in that pen for another lefty, especially right now with Matzik out. Getting another left-handed arm down there. It's done good work.
So Miguel Rojas, one of the hitting villains for the Marlins. He's homered, singled, and lined out in today's play. The home run came off Darren O'Day back in the 6th inning. He's been impressive. He's got a big arm. And look, left-handed relief without Tyler Matzik. Anybody that can try to fill those shoes will be welcomed for Brian Snitker and Rick Kranitz. Dylan trying to do his thing today. This one is a base hit. 3-hit day for Rojas. Third time in the game the Marlins have had their leadoff man on. And it's been the Rojas and Cooper show today. They've got 5 combined hits.
There haven't been a whole bunch of hits today, even on the other side with Tucker Davidson, but that double last inning by Cooper was a big blow at 2-1, especially when the Braves were able to push one across.
Here's Joey Wendell. A sac fly was the first RBI in the game. Marlins with 7 hits. Cooper and Rojas have 5 of them. Wendell 2 homers, 11 RBIs. He missed 11 games with a hamstring problem. Don Mattingly glad to have him back. Their club is racked by injuries. Jazz Chisholm day to day. Avisail Garcia out with what we presume is COVID. And Brian Anderson a bad back before first pitch. 0-1 count. Lifted softly toward left into the sunshine. Ozuna is under and shields his eyes nicely. There's the first out. Jacob Stallings the batter, but first a quick word from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no. Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Stallings is 0 for 3. He struck out his last time up. He's also hit into a double play. And a swing and a miss. In the 8th inning, Albies, Contreras, and Duvall are coming up for the Braves. Lee, bright sunshine atop his perch. The pitch is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Same 2 teams wrap up the series tomorrow. Max Fried and Eliezer Hernandez. First pitch at 1:35 Eastern time. Braves did good work against Hernandez down in Miami. Max Fried is pitching well for the Braves. That'll wrap up the homestand. Split 4 with the Phillies. Trying to avoid splitting these first 2 with the Marlins. Then a trip to the desert and then the mountains. Phoenix with the Diamondbacks and then Coors Field for 4, where everybody hopes their offense gets healthy.
Yeah, right.
In fact, the Marlins go there next. The pitch is right there. A strike, and Stallings caught looking. Lee has his first strikeout. The Miami catcher 0 for 4, 2 outs.
Kind of get the feeling with his delivery there's a little bit of deception. I mean, I don't know what Stallings could have been looking for on that pitch right there. I mean, that was a fastball. Usually you see him ready to go on that pitch.
Well, it makes you wonder if he saw it at all.
That's a good point.
You know, it's 405 starts are tough duty for both teams. De La Cruz, the batter, and didn't recognize spin on that pitch. 0-1. You had a big day today before the game, as you mentioned, with the 400 Club. And some celebrities were here. You got to hand out a little hardware today, didn't you?
I did. A couple former Braves, Andrew Jones and Jeff Blauser in the house. Still look like they could play a little bit.
1 ball, 1 strike. There's so many great things about Jeff Blauser and his great career with the Braves. His hair was always on point. I mean, he was Dansby Swanson's hair before Dansby. It was amazing. Full flow, great product, always in the right place. 1 ball, 2 strikes with De La Cruz running, and that's out of play. But Jeff's son Cooper's on his way to Clemson and plays on the same team as Andrew's son, right?
Yeah, they won the state championship at Wesleyan this year. Got close the last couple years, and their senior year finally got them over the top.
Well, wouldn't that be something if Andrew's son went 1-1 in the draft? Could happen.
It could. Got good genes.
1-2 pitch is tipped and caught. And Dylan Lee is the first Brave to pitch a scoreless outing in the game. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-1. The Marlins lead it. Miami has the lead. Albies, Contreras, and Duvall are coming up for the Braves. And Alcantara just rolling merrily along, nice and easy at 97.
He's, you know, it's funny. You think back to the first 2 innings, he was more 95, 96. I mean, he is ramping it up now. He's feeling it.
Well, you heard Paul Bird say earlier that in the last complete game he threw, he went to Don Mattingly and said, "I'm not coming out of this game."
Yeah.
I wonder if the same will be true here. As
you're going to have a quick inning here.
97 pitches, very little stress. Shift on for Ozzie, who is in an 0-2 hole, and he's down on strikes. That's 13 of them. Alcantara is 1 strikeout away from matching his career high. William Contreras is the Atlanta hitter. William is 0 for 2. Let's check out who's hot, presented by Texas Pete.
He sits safely in all 6 of the games, slugging .950. And he's put some good numbers against the Fish. 2 homers, a double, and 3 RBIs in that span.
Well, we showed that graphic earlier in the game about where the Braves and Marlins rank as far as their ERAs in the month of May. If they had any offense at all, they wouldn't be going through what they've gone through. I mean, 4 runs yesterday, 4 runs today. That's a virtual bonanza of offense for Don Mattingly's club.
Yeah, Alcantara's not had, not only the team, but Alcantara's not had the run support, kind of like DeGrom we talked about over the years up in New York. See, that's what makes it tough. I know it's, unless you're down there by the field, the downward angle that he throws with, and then the changeup and slider come out pretty much the same thing. He repeats his delivery. What do they list him at? 6'5", 6'6"?
6'5", 197. And it's legit.
Yeah, I was going to say, you go down there and stand by him. To me, it feels more 6'6". You know, he is tall. And I got that Adam Wainwright build.
Well, to put it as succinctly as possible, in his last 4 games, 31 1/3 innings, 15 hits, 3 earned runs. This one put in play at short. Perfect throw. Takes care of Contreras. That's the second out. So, Paul, Braves have run into some real tough hombres here in Atlanta. Aaron Nola a couple of days ago, and now Alcantara for the second time in a week.
No, you're right, and you guys know that I'm a homer. We cover the Braves all the time, but sometimes you have to tip your cap. This is one of them. Game's not over, but you have to appreciate the man on the mound right here, Sandy Alcantara. And if you're a young pitcher, look at this guy. He is the epitome of just nice and easy, not working too hard, and there's something to that. A lot of guys that throw 100 are max effort, and that's asking for injury. He's just like he's throwing a bullpen.
Yeah, and I think, Bertie, to second that point, I think it goes to show you the Braves are starting to swing the bats really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that versus Philly. So, you know, to see him hold these these hitters that have done so much damage, I think makes you realize how good he is.
Oh, you're right on, and just like that right there.
Oh.
You just don't see that
No.
pitch. A 90. Even those changeups at 94 today that have fallen off the table with action. You just don't see that from anybody else in the league. So how do you prepare for that?
You can't.
You just got to hope he makes a mistake and cash it in, as this one's off the end of the bat down the left field line. And that is into the seats.
Just think about this right now. Duvall's seen 3 pitches this AB. Saw a sinker at 99 to start off. Saw the changeup at 93, and now you got a slider at 90 that you got out in front of.
And this is after 107 pitches.
Exactly.
You know?
And so as a hitter, you're sitting there right now, and Chip, you have no idea what's coming. He could throw any one of 3 pitches right now in this count. So you really go into protect mode, and that's what he wants. He wants you on protect mode.
1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. That equals his career high 14 strikeouts. That was 100 miles an hour to end the Atlanta 8th.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
We head to the 9th inning. Thank you for joining us on Valley Sports. The Marlins scored 3 runs in their middle innings, the 6th and 7th, and it looks like that's the end of the line for Sandy Alcantara, and good riddance.
Yeah.
14 strikeouts in 8 brilliant innings today. The 14 strikeouts equals his career high. So you got to stop him here and hope that you can put something together in the 9th against the Marlins bullpen. The Braves did that yesterday. It's a 4-1 game. Astudillo pops up the first pitch. Ozuna is in the shadows, and Astudillo, a 2-for-4 day, is out number 1. 108 pitches. Most impressively, Jeff, as you caught triple digits on the last one he threw.
100 miles per hour. So that reminds me so much of Justin Verlander when he was with the Detroit Tigers.
No walks in the game.
That's impressive.
14 Ks and a hit batsman. John Birdie, the hitter. He's walked twice and scored once. I guess that's a lesson for any pitcher, isn't it? If you want to pitch deep in a big league game, you can't walk people.
You know what? There's just times where a pitcher gets on a roll like this, and again, Chip, I don't care how good your offense is. You remember what's the old saying? Good pitching always beats good hitting, especially in the postseason. You talk about power pitching. I mean, that's what that was right there today. And you mix in some shadows for him at 4 o'clock.
I want to illustrate the point about the walks. 2 of the walks the Braves issued came back to score. Those don't score, you've got a 2-1 game.
Yeah.
Feel like you have a reasonable shot in your last turn. As John Birdie with a 3-0 count. And that one found the mark. Next start for Alcantara will be in Miami when they host the Giants. The Braves will be on the West Coast at that time. 3 with the Diamondbacks, 4 with the Rockies. At Coors Field, the pitch. Another fly ball. This one angling toward Michael Harris. And the kid's had a memorable day. His first big league hit. He's handled a handful of chances in center without problem. And Miami down to their final out in the 9th. Garrett Cooper's up. He's got 2 more hits against the Braves, up to 10 RBIs. 10 of his 19 have come against the Braves this year. You got to figure out a different scouting report on this guy.
And I'll tell you one other thing. I bet you Michael Harris didn't think that he was only going to have 2 ABs going into the 9th inning.
Pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah.
He just could not get anything rolling against Alcantara yet today, and now they'll try to do it against the bullpen as that's back out of play for Garrett Cooper. We'll see the Marlins in Miami in August. We'll wrap up the regular season in Miami, and they'll be back here for a 3-game series in early September. Maybe Cooper will have cooled off by then.
Gosh. Or he's going to cool off right after this and then heat right back up.
They're going to Colorado. Everybody's going to get hot.
Yeah, that's true.
Although the Rockies have been much better at home. 2-1 pitch is inside. The Rockies 14-11 at home. They're 10.5 games behind the Dodgers, who've already won 31 games out west. And Colorado without Chris Bryant. More back trouble for Chris. That's disappointing news. The pitch is high, and Cooper walks with 2 out. He's on base 3 more times today, including his 4th multi-hit game in the last 6. So Atlanta's walked 6 hitters. That brings up Soler, who walked and scored the first run in the top of the 4th inning. Cole Sulser is getting ready in the Miami bullpen. No balls and a strike for Soler. And this one on the ground deep short. Dansby tries a sliding stop, can't get it, and Soler's aboard. So the Marlins trying to add on with 2 outs in the 9th inning. 1st and 2nd for Aguilar.
This ball hit kind of another thing right when it hit the dirt and took off. I mean, that thing scooted past Dansby. He didn't have a shot at it.
Two walks, 2 flyouts for Aguilar. And again, it won't happen today. Talking about Alcantara, who might have had a shot at back-to-back complete games. It's been 5 years in the major leagues since the starter has had back-to-back complete game outings. Corey Kluber did
Cleveland
in 2017. That's hammered down the line off the netting. It's even for Aguilar.
That's the hard thing today as an offense. Just so tough to get going. I mean, when he's striking out the guys that he is at that kind of clip.
Yeah, there's no fault with the Braves offense today.
No,
he was just better today.
You're going to face a few times a year a guy like this that just has everything working that day, and there's not much you can do.
Except hope their bullpen has a bad inning.
Yeah, exactly, which is very possible.
We still have a shot at that. 1-1 pitch is fouled back. Aguilar chasing down his 100th major league homer. Tried for it there, and that cost him a strike.
Yeah, one thing I know, you got to get out of this inning right here and make one more pitch, because, you know, 3 runs is, you know, we've seen this offense do that quick. Saw last night. You start getting to 5 now, it's tough.
Well, we'll have the right guys coming up. Harris, Acuna, Swanson, Ozuna, and then Riley. We hope. Is Dylan Lee ready with his 1-2 pitch? The lefty ready with the 2-2 offering. It's right back up the middle, and nice play, Ozzie. 360 spin. Knew who was running. He took away a hit and an RBI and gives the Braves a shot in the bottom of the 9th inning. Nice play by Ozzie Albies to Rob Aguilar. Lee, another scoreless inning, and its last call for the Braves. Michael Harris will lead it off. 3 runs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Marlins behind Sandy Alcantara lead 4-1. We will wrap up the series for you tomorrow with first pitch at 1:35. Here are your ultra strong stats brought to you by Charmin. Max Fried will take a 4-2 record into the game against Eliezer Hernandez, whom the Braves enjoyed seeing down in South Florida. Our broadcast coverage starts at 1 o'clock with Braves Live on Bally Sports Southeast and on the Bally Sports app. Cole Sulser is on to try to wrap this one up for Miami. He'll face Harris, Acuna, and Dansby Swanson. Cole Sulser just 2 save opportunities this season.
Yeah, fastball changeup type guy, and I tell you, no matter how well he's been pitching, if you're the Braves right now, you're just glad Alcantara's done after 8 innings. See if you can get a couple guys on and see what happens.
How cool is it for Michael Harris to stand up there as a major league hitter and see your batting average at 500?
Yeah, take a pick.
1 for 2. He scored his first big league run back in the Atlanta 6th, the only run of the day. And a ball and a strike. What I loved about the hit was it was the opposite way. He didn't try to pull it.
Well, like I said, when you're facing a guy like that, what was the key to in that? He got to 2-0 in that count.
Yep.
So he was able to get in a favorable count. Whereas that first time up, you went 1-0 and then 3 straight changeups.
Another shot the other way. Rojas sliding stop. Has to hurry his throw, and just in time. Harris busting down the line, out by a quarter step. Well, that was exciting. Almost beat it out, and you see the pressure speed puts on an opposing defense.
Well, look how quick Rojas gets up to throw this, knowing Harris running, just gets him. But another nice piece of hitting. I like it.
Ronald Acuna Jr., the batter. He has struck out. He's singled. He's stolen a base. He's been hit by a pitch. He's been picked off. And he's been thrown out trying to advance to third on a ground ball. I'd say Ronald's had a busy day.
He has. You know, you asked me, though, the difference in Double-A. They don't make that play on you down there either. Good day for the kid, though.
He's going to sleep well tonight. His first as a major league player. And that's out of play. Back to our right. And Ronald hit on the hand by Alcantara. It was sore after he finished his 3rd inning with the pickoff play. Went down. That was checked out. Obviously he's good to go, for he's batting for the 2nd time since the 3rd inning today. Quick turnaround for the Braves and Fish tomorrow with a 1:30 start. We'll see if Ronald's A in the lineup, and B if he's in as the DH or gets to play right field too. Sure, that's all predicated on how he feels coming out of today's play. With the quadriceps problem, the groin problem, the knee recovery, and now a wrist. A lot for Braves staff to attend to with Acuna, as that's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pushed him off the plate. And Acuna swings at a ball in the dirt. Sulser has his first strikeout. And the Braves are down to their last out. It's Dansby Swanson who knocked in the lone Atlanta run with a ground out.
That's twice today we've seen Ronald work ball back to a 3-2 count and then chase something. That's something that you're not used to seeing. And I think, again, with him, I think it's been, I'm sure, frustrating, just the little nagging injuries that, you know, he's in the lineup, out of the lineup. I think for him, once he's able to get on that roll where he's in there every day, that's when you know it's kind of clicked big time. Not that he's not doing good right now,
but I can't imagine how hard it is. You get on a roll, and he was on one, and he got to take 3 days off, 4 days off, and I would assume, Jeff, it feels like you're playing catch up all the time. And he couldn't catch up to that pitch from Sulser as Dansby digs in and takes high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beautiful day, 1 million in attendance. Kid makes his major league debut for Atlanta. Dansby's driven in a run. And this one is hammered toward the gap in left center field. That's carrying out toward the wall and off the base of it. It'll ricochet back toward the infield. Sanchez picks it up, and Dansby Swanson has another multi-hit game, Jeff. He's having a whale of a homestand with 12 hits.
Stay hot. He's one guy that should feel good about going to Arizona and Colorado. Now that's his strength. We always talk about it. Some of the quickest hands in baseball. Loves pulling them in on that fastball. You try to sneak that in, going right to one of his strengths.
That'll bring up Ozuna. Marcel is 0 for 3. Get your rally caps on. Braves aren't dead yet. Only have 1 out to play with, but again, the heart of the order is up. And Ozuna looking for his first hit of the day. Knock in Dansby, then Riley would represent the tying run. And Sulser just 2 save opportunities for the Marlins this year.
Right here, more than anything, you got to make sure he throws you a strike. You've got to find a way on that base.
Steven Okert getting warmed up just in case this game gets to Matt Olson.
A veteran batter there. I like that, making sure. Make him throw you a strike on 2-0.
Two balls, 1 strike. Ozuna talking to Carlos Torres behind the plate, the umpire.
Talking about dinner tonight?
Maybe. And fouled away. The Braves down to their last strike. I'm hoping he was talking about a dinger, not dinner.
I'm about to drop this on you. Watch this.
Nice stop by Stallings. Now the next pitch, a very important one. Braves need a base runner to give Austin Riley a chance to tie the game. You figure Ozuna's going to see a strike. Let's see what he can do with it.
Hey, do a change up on 2-1. That tends to be his pitch. Thinking Ozuna right here, you're thinking right up the middle on the fastball, and that way if he throws you that changeup, still maybe somewhat got a chance to hit it.
He lost him, and the Braves still are alive. The tying run will come to the plate. So finally the Marlins walk a Braves batter. Perhaps that will be the biggest play of this game. We shall see. And Austin Riley is coming up.
Well, again, we saw last week in Miami, Braves had a chance to tie the game up late on that Sunday day game. Now, same thing here.
So the pressure's on Sulser. Olsen on deck. Austin Riley 1 for 3 today. No balls and a strike.
Austin got fooled on that one. Tried to go after that fastball, and he pulled the string on him.
So many times we talked about it over the last 4 years, how often the Braves came back in the 7th, the 8th, the 9th inning. Not an easy thing to do with all the elite bullpens in Major League Baseball. The Braves don't always win, but when they're right, they always give you a finish. They're trying to do that today. But now, like Ozuna, they're down to their last strike with Austin Riley in the batter's box.
Another good changeup.
You can understand when Jeff Wise throwing it. You throw a fastball to this guy at your own peril. So 3 changeups in a row. The pitch. Another one, and Riley fought it off.
And that's what, if you're Austin right here, really what you're telling yourself is see the ball up. I mean, it doesn't matter fastball, changeup. You can get to it, but you've got to see it up in the zone. Give yourself a fighting chance.
Ozuna at first, Swanson at second. Riley awaits, and a swing and a miss, and that's going to end your ball game. The Marlins have evened the series, a 4-1 final score. Alcantara was brilliant. No shame in that for the Atlanta offense. And Jeff, tomorrow behind Max Fried, you still have a chance to win this series.
You do, and make it a 4-3 homestand, which is a nice little homestand for you. So you got your ace on the mound tomorrow. Look, at the end of the day, the story today was Sandy Alcantara. He was phenomenal, 14 Ks. And then on the other side, you know what, Michael Harris, I thought he played really well today. He made all the plays in center field, looked very comfortable, to which I liked. And then at the plate, you know, struck out the first time, base knock, and then another great at bat the second time.
And hopefully the first of, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 hits for the kid out of Stockbridge, Georgia. Marlins 4, Braves 1 on a sunny Saturday. We hope for beautiful weather tomorrow and an even better result as the Braves try to win the series behind Max Fried. Our coverage starts at 1 o'clock here on Bally Sports Southeast. For Paul Bird, for Jeff Francoeur, and our great crew, Chip Carey from the ballpark. Thank you for joining us. 4-1 Miami. Stick around. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is next.